So, picture this. It's 2021 and it's around the middle of October, the spooky month, and you're in a Discord server with some friends and other randoms. And you see that there are people active and are talking about a certain character. You open the app and see that they are in fact talking about someone by the name of Huggy Wuggy. Who's that? You thought to yourself. So you ask your pals and they tell you about the spooky game that released not long ago and how every big YouTuber is playing it. Feeling curious, you go on YouTube and you see that some of the people you watch played the game. And of course, you watched the video and opened your eyes to the new world of Poppy Playtime. This is a game that I believe is a great example of a good mascot horror game. And although it didn't seem like it in the beginning, we certainly came a long way. So grab your favorite late night energy drink and snack because I'm going to discuss how Poppy Playtime subverted our expectations. So back when the first chapter dropped, it quickly grew in popularity. It was a breath of fresh air for the mascot horror genre. Big well-known
Hello
YouTubers
everybody, my
played
name
it,
is Markiplier.
lots of people watched it, yada yada. So even though it was just a 30-minute game, with the only decent part being the climax near the end, what made this game stay relevant and on people's minds? Two simple things. Lore, and the fact that this was only chapter 1, meaning there was much more to come. The infamous Game Theory made a video on the first chapter, as expected. With lore, it kept people talking about Poppy Playtime and wanting to know more about the secrets of the factory. It seemed that nothing could go wrong. Oh, wait. I forgot to mention the fact that this game and everything surrounding it was quite controversial to say the least. Yeah, people didn't like the fact that there was already a bunch of official merch available for a 30-minute puzzle horror game. And none of it was cheap either. If that didn't leave the community a bad taste in their mouth, which it did, there was also some drama, to say the least. As I remember, it was because of Mob's official YouTube animation channel that continued to, simply put it, harass a lone animator. It was a bad look for Poppy Playtime and Mob Entertainment as a whole. I'm not sure if those bad eggs in the whole situation were punished in some way, but I'm pretty sure they were. But it was kinda hard to put a clear blame on who was involved exactly. But I do remember that nobody had a problem with Isaac, the main game director and cosplay creator of Poppy Playtime. Oh, and Isaac's a pretty cool name, by the way. All of this right here, and the fact that Poppy Playtime didn't even seem that scary in terms of looks, gave this upcoming franchise a real bad look. It looked like a cash grab. A good quality one, sure, but a cash grab nonetheless. It looked to be one with the sole purpose of profiting off the popularity of the mascot horror genre. Eventually, a teaser for Chapter 2 released here on YouTube. It was the confirmation of a sequel. Of course, many wasn't sure what to think. People are already making up their minds about this whole Poppy thing. Some may say that this would be the beginning of a downfall for this new franchise. However, something unexpected happened when the official game trailer for Chapter 2 came out of nowhere. Having made almost 60 million views, it was no joke that this trailer was pure hype at the time. Not only did we get to see a bunch of the new areas we were going to be exploring, such as the train station and the minigames, we also got our first real good look at the newly revealed antagonist. Her name is Mommy Longlegs, and if you hadn't noticed, she has long legs, and is a mommy. Did I also forget to mention that this character actually has voice acting? Like she can actually speak? Meaning this would be the first time we got a character to interact with. Okay, so we were shown off new areas, a new add-on to the grab pack in the form of a green electric hand, and a new villain that can actually talk to us. At this point, Mappa has already made about 2 videos on this franchise, with the second one being about the Chapter 2 trailer. And if you couldn't tell, hype was building up, and all this attention to the series has only made it even more popular. Then on May 6, 2022, Chapter 2 was officially out. Even despite the company behind the game still being controversial at the time, many people still wanted to experience this game. Whether you had a PC to play it or just watch someone else play the game for you, it was quite a hit. Not only did this game have a much longer playtime, pun intended, it also had better gameplay and slightly better visuals. They actually built off the original mechanics of the first chapter and improved it. More chase scenes and encounters, more lore, more exploration, more puzzles, just more everything. This game had it all. I hear lots of people talk about how they could have done more with this chapter and maybe switch up the gameplay a bit, but I think this game did exactly what it was supposed to do, offer a new and good quality entry to the fans. This is when I, and many others, started to genuinely believe that the people at Mob Entertainment legit wanted to do something with this new IP. And even though many of Mob's practices seemed a little scummy, it was clear that it was because they needed a way to fund these projects if they wanted them to be of good quality. And if you're in the official Poppy Playtime Discord server, And hadn't noticed, the devs are all about taking time to ensure these games have good quality. You could legit tell they want this franchise to be the best it could. And whether or not you still think otherwise about this company and their business practices, I'd say you should at least try to support those who genuinely want to do something with this game, especially the ones who are currently developing the game while interacting with fans at the same time. Anyways, of course, many popular content creators play this new chapter, and many of them express how impressed they were with this new entry. You will also hear a lot of them say that they would love to see more games too. This was when people started to kind of forget some of the misdeeds that the company had done, especially when the company started to get a hold on its grip and, well, not let anything scummy happen again. At this point in time, Mob was teasing something, and they did this through an ARG. This was kinda random, but was interesting. As many Poppy enthusiasts started trying to solve this thing, they were able to dig up some stuff, and it was all pointing towards a new character reveal. But what could it be? Well, it was a toy box? But then eventually, this monster was fully revealed to be the infamous Boxy Boo, alongside the new big thing that Mob was teasing us with. Could it be Chapter 3? No, actually, it was a matter of fact a multiplayer spin-off game. Project Playtime, to be exact. A multiplayer Dead by Daylight inspired game, except with monsters from the Poppy Playtime series. Boxy Boo, of course, made his first appearance in this game, and was one of the monsters that you can actually play as. Now, I'd be lying if I said this game was not criticized at all. From the Dead by Daylight gameplay, all the way to people disliking Boxy Boo's character design. I actually defend his design, but don't exactly want to explain why. At least not in this video. Anyways, besides that, other criticisms consisted of numerous bugs, glitches, server problems, poor performance issues, etc. Basically, the game wasn't exactly polished either, and well, in defense, it was only an early access release of a free-to-play game anyway, so I don't really think you can reasonably complain. Did I forget to mention that this game had a battle pass system with a shop that all used real money to purchase with? Again, not a good look. But then again, that's the deal with every free-to-play game, so whatever. But here's the catch. The game offers a free in-game currency that you can earn by playing the game, meaning that you can still buy cosmetics and such by just earning it, so you don't really have to spend real-life money to get all dripped out inside the Poppy Playtime co-factory. Anyways, even if at the start the consensus of everything surrounding the game was negative, the positives outweighed them. The gameplay utilized familiar mechanics from the main Poppy games, so it was pretty unique all things considered. Instead of just walking around and repairing generators while duking the killer, in this game you can swing your way around the many maps representing areas of Poppy Playtime Co's factory. The monsters all, of course, have differing abilities that all help to balance the game no matter who you're playing as. Boxy Boo. Essentially, the main core gameplay of Project Playtime offers a fresh new take on the Dead by Daylight-like genre, and if anything, it fits this franchise pretty well, and I'm glad it does. Just kinda waiting until this thing gets ported to console so me and all my friends can play. Cause looking at everything, it looks fun, and objectively, it is fun. Now then, what's next? Oh, right, the next chapter. Before Project Playtime, a trailer teasing Chapter 3 was released and gave us an idea of what actually went on in the playcare that was shown at the end of Chapter 2. And the implications were pretty dark. So in the lore, we know that this factory had an orphanage program that housed orphan children, and we also know that these children were being studied on via the game station as such. Depending on their abilities and difficulties, they would be assigned a specific playtime toy that they would be used to give life to. And even though that idea is already dark, this trailer tells us that these children were put on some red poppy gas that would presumably put them to some sort of sleep when looking at the symbolic nature of the toys laying around on the floor. This teaser sets the tone for what Mob wants to do with the next Poppy Playtime chapter, a more focused emphasis on horror. A good few months later and we get a second trailer teasing the main antagonist of the chapter. People weren't sure what this thing was except that it put children to sleep with poppy gas, and it was purple. Kinda like Billiam Bafton. It also had claws and fur, leading us to believe this monster was based off an animal. Many ideas floated around. Some of the main contenders consisted of bird, bear, rabbit, and even cat. It was like this for about 4 months until we finally got our answer. Mob uploaded an animation depicting a new cast of silly little characters called the Smiling Critters. In this animation, we see that these guys are all having a sleepover at the dog critter's house. They all seem to be scared of the lightning storm that's happening outside and are struggling to get some sleep. That's when they hear a knock coming from the door. It opens and shows us a purple cat in which all the smiling critters begin to call out its name, Catnap. They beg him for help in sleeping until that same red poppy gas comes out of its mouth, effectively putting all the critters to sleep. This right here is the character that the monster in the teaser was based off of. About a week later, we got an official Chapter 3 game trailer, and oh boy does this show us some stuff. Hopes for Poppy Playtime are looking real high right now, and it seemed that things would only be getting better. But that's pretty much it at the time I'm writing this. Chapter 3 was delayed and it's already January, with all of us expecting the final gameplay trailer to come out pretty soon before the game eventually releases after like a year of everyone waiting. So, how did Poppy Playtime subvert our expectations? Well, it started off as a small and short indie mascot horror game that gave a bad taste in everyone's mouth because of the many controversies surrounding it. We'd all thought this new franchise would stay quite consistent, short, simplistic gameplay that's only scary for like the first playthrough, that's also trying too hard to take money from your wallet. But obviously that isn't the case anymore. Poppy Playtime has become something different. It's a franchise that can actually stand up along with other popular mascot horror games. Its core gameplay may still be going through experimentation, but it was looking good. Right now, Poppy Playtime so far looks like an indie horror series that strives to be more focused on darker tones, fun but challenging puzzles, lots of mysteries, and products that are made with quality. And whether or not you're looking forward to what's to come with this franchise later down the line, you can't deny that Poppy Playtime truly subverted our expectations. For now, this has been Hakuno, and I'll see you guys later.